welcome to Nelson All Over Cards. Today we are coming at you from a very different location, halfway across the country. So the new Bulletproof Bell Rogue announcement was dropped while I was on an airplane coming out to Colorado. We have a few minutes, or probably about an hour, before we get picked up, so we Ubered over to a library, and I'm going to do a first look. Now, I love doing the prepared videos where we have all of the cool card pops up, and I have a little bit more in depth. I just don't have the time to do that, but I'm very excited about these X-Men, so we're going to dive right in and do a first look on Rogue. Alrighty. So Rogue, cursed with an uncontrollable ability to absorb the powers and memories of anyone she touches. I always thought that was just horrible. I mean, it was more a curse than a power. I think she does end up figuring it out, but yeah. So we kind of know that this is going to probably come to us with the Gambit pack. New playable hero, 16 signature cards. Interesting. Okay, so there's going to be 16 signature cards, which means we probably get a permanent. That'd be my guess. And a bonus modular encounter set. Love those. Alrighty. So, Anna Marie, Rogue, 3 recovery, 6 hand size, 11 hit points. She's a pretty tough X-Men. Typically, we're seeing 10 or fewer, with the exception of Colossus. And as a setup, we set your touched upgrade aside. Okay, so the skin-on-skin contact with Rogue is kind of her whole thing, and so it looks like we're going to get to emulate that. And we have a withdrawn a force response. After you change to this form, set touched aside. Okay, so let's see what touch does. Oh, that's cool art. I like that. That's really, really fun. If touched is attached to a minion, oh, this feels like Deathglow. Oh no. If touched is attached to a minion, Rogue's attacks gain overkill. Villain, she gains retaliate 1. Ally, she gains the aerial trait. And hero, Rogue gains. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so if this is attached to another hero, I wonder if you can attach it to yourself. You can get Stalwart, which is pretty sweet. And then this is kind of interesting that you can get the aerial trait by attaching it to the ally. I'm not 100% sure what the lore is behind that. It looks like we're going to be bouncing this around. Okay, 2/2/2 stat line on Rogue. So really good stat line. Saw this with Wolverine. This is becoming less and less common, and just any hero that has it is really good. And we have a hand size of 5. Skin contact. As an action, we can attach touch to another character. Okay. You gain each of the attached characters' traits until the end of the round. That's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. So this is going to blow deck building out of the water. This is going to be insane. So, okay. So depending on what you have it attached to, you do get the benefits there. And then you also get their traits. So, this is going to be kind of interesting with team building exercise. She is X-Men traded, so you can run the team building. But if you're running her alongside like an Avenger, you can give her the Avenger traits. And then you can play all the really cool Avenger cards. Ooh. Oh, my mind's already going into the deck building sphere of this. Because, we have a lot of leadership cards, and like there's Muster Courage, I think, and Protection. There's a couple of them that are playable only if you have leadership or Guardian. Like lead from the front, I think, is Avenger only. It may not add them, but there's just a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a lot of cool stuff that can go on here. You can also run Avenger allies and then throw it onto the ally to get the traits from the ally. That'd be pretty cool. Then a force response. After the player phase begins, find touch and set it aside. Okay, so it's weird that it says another character, meaning you can't attach it to Rogue. Okay, that's a little sad because you're not going to be able to get Stalwart in a solo game. That's a little bit unfortunate, but I guess like thematically it makes sense. She can't attach touch to herself. But okay, let's see. I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of cards that this messes with and changes around the abilities based on what touched is attached to. Rogue can attach touch to any other character in play, friend or foe. The new ability she gets depends on the type of character. Cards like Going Rogue, 2-cost event, superpower traded. Okay, so here's our first superpower. I'm guessing with Rogue we will be running Def Focus. I think that's going to definitely be in play just from her lore. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. She has aerial, remove 2 additional threat, retaliate, confuse an enemy, or stalwart, draw 1 card. Very cool. Okay, so this retaliate, if you throw your touch onto the villain, get retaliate. And okay, so this is kind of interesting. So if Rogue has aerial, retaliate, or stalwart, and I guess like not necessarily aerial or stalwart, but you can get retaliate and protection from like a dauntless or something like that. And so you can have, the way that I'm reading this, you can trigger both of these. So if you throw aerial and you put your touch on an ally, you get to remove 2 additional threat, and then if you're running a protection with dauntless, you also are able to confuse an enemy. So okay, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It kind of, if she has the abilities of multiple different of these triggers, you can trigger both of them. I don't think that there's a way to get stalwart or aerial outside of just core cards or hero cards. But Southern Cross. Okay, so this looks like her attack, another superpower. So again, Def Focus probably in trait or in the deck. 6 damage. If she has aerial, deal 2. Oh, okay. Retaliate, stun that enemy, stalwart, draw 1 card. It feels right off the bat, just seeing these 2 cards, that we really do want to be running her in a protection build with Dauntless. Get those hit points higher, get retaliate, and then you can, on these big attacks, you can trigger two kickers. It's pretty cool. That's kind of cool. I think it feels like you're kind of locking yourself into an aspect, but we may get to see some aspect cards in this pack that do kind of mess with that a little bit and give you a way to get more of these kickers. That'd be kind of cool. Okay. If touch is attached to an enemy, Rogue can use Bulletproof Bell. Alrighty, okay, so superpower defensive traded. So Def Focus does not help here because it's defense. Unless we are doing like a toe-to-toe or something where the villain's attacking us in the hero phase. So when an enemy with touch attached to it attacks, prevent all the damage from that attack and gain a tough status card. That's an excellent value right there. I really like this card, and it just makes me want to run Rogue more in protection. I assume she comes with a protection precon, because that was the only one left, but that makes sense. But Bulletproof Bell makes me really excited for the protection, perfect defense, higher health type strategy. Okay. She can borrow an extra bit of her powers through superpower adaptation. If touch is attached to a friendly character, search its owner's discard pile for an event that belongs to the same classification as that character. Holy crap. Okay, so that would be identity specific, aspect, or basic. So you basically get to go get a card from... Okay, her deck building is going to be insane. I don't like that we don't necessarily see a huge solo build, right? So I guess you can attach it to an ally and then go grab one of your cards. So this is basically a second copy of one of your cards that if you are playing in a solo, but she looks like she's going to be really fun multiplayer. I know that I can't get everything as solo. I understand that. And I am okay to see something like this that does just thrive in a multiplayer setting. And if we were going to ever get something that was a little bit unplayable, I'm not saying that this is unplayable. I think that this is still good. Something that is less good significantly solo, it would be through the X-Men, just because of how much team work they have. Okay. And if it's attached to a friend, yep, talked about that. If you ever need a boost, you can use energy transfer. Okay, so this is, hey, another superpower. Hey, there's Blob on our basketball court right there. It looks like every single one of her cards so far has been superpower traded. So this is a hero action. Attach touch to a character other than Rogue and deal 2 damage to that character. Heal 2 damage from Rogue and ready her. Whoa, you gain each of the attached character's traits until the end of the round. Now, how does touch work? Okay. I'm not quite sure how that's different than the wording here. So if touch is attached to X, then you get those abilities. Energy transfer. You gain each of the attached character's traits until the end of the round instead of the end of the phase. That's what it is. Because touch gets after the player phase begins. No, I don't know what the differences in energy transfer. I guess it's maybe just saying that you get those as well. Actually, here. Nope. I don't quite understand this card. Um, Maybe it's just reaffirming this, the skin contact up here. Rogue's kit would not be complete without Gambit. Here we go. Okay, so this is going to be her signature ally. I love Mia Gambit. It's a 3-cost 2/2/3, so pretty solid up here. We do have a kicker when there's an interrupt. He gets 3 charge counters. When Gambit attacks, remove 1 charge counter from him, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Very cool. Very, very cool. So this is basically a 2/3/3 stat line, but even more powerful because it's not necessarily the attacked enemy. It is any enemy. So you can use it to ping a tough, then go through your attack. You can split up that damage. Very thematic in what we saw with Gambit's hero kit. And so that's a cool ally. I'm a big fan of this ally. He's not superpower traded, so we can't use we can't use Death Focus on him. That's fine. Okay, so interesting kit. We were all kind of theorizing on how they were going to be using Rogue and how they were going to be able to get her skin contact ability in the game. I think that they did a fairly good job here. We have not seen all of her cards. Like we never get to see all the cards when they first announce these articles, but she looks pretty interesting. I'm really excited to see her played in a multiplayer sense, especially with this superpower adaptation. So this is going to be crazy because you can go grab an identity specific card and just like Hulk Smash comes to mind, like a 3 for 10. She's now swinging for, or Hulk Smash is, plus 10 to your basic attack. So it's a 12. Just like there's a lot of options and it can really boost other characters, I believe, because sometimes those characters rely on those cards and then Rogue can basically double play them. And so I'm interested to see the kind of builds that come out with this. With this hero, I'm hoping that we get to see Marvel CDB implement a team up mechanic like they do have with Lord of the Rings on Rings DB, where you can pair up decks, because I do think it would be cool to see Rogue paired with another deck and analyze the deck building like that and in that sense. Okay, now let's look at my favorite part of the entire article, and that's going to be the protection cards. And I'm panicking and I am still recording. Cool. I would hate that if I was not still recording. Okay, so we've got protection cards. Love new protection cards. Okay, so we've got Iceman. We're just gonna go through this. So we'll call an Iceman a 3-cost 1/2/3, and Iceman enters play with three freeze counters on him. After a minion enters play, remove 1 freeze counter on Iceman and stun that minion. That's really cool. I'm a big fan of Iceman here. I think that having the ability to sit out there, this is not limited to X-Men, and so we can see some crazy, I'm sure we'll see some crazy decks like with Spider-Woman or maybe a Adam Warlock, where we can find the broken combos there. But I mean, this, especially with the mold that we have been seeing with some of the minions recently, where they're just absurdly powerful, and if they pop in, or if they come in on a boost activation and they're going to be attacking or activating, Iceman fixes that. So that's pretty cool. I like Iceman. I like the 3-cost. Probably get 4 damage, 3 if you can leave them out there long enough, 3 stuns and a block for 3. That's incredible value. Like it. Jakuta skill. So this is a upgrade. Oh, cool. Okay, I love these upgrades. So let's see. Uses 3 judo counters, maximum per player. When you defend against an enemy attack, remove 1 judo counter. That enemy attack gets -2 attack for that attack. Incredible. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. That's very, very cool. So that you can't just like say this attack is going to be -2, but it really makes that perfect defense. And this is going to be a card that Rogue loves, anyone who needs that higher health really, really likes. Drax is going to love this card. Drax is going to really love this card. Well, actually, no. Drax needs to defend, so he may not. Drax doesn't love defending, so maybe he doesn't love this card. But this is a really cool design. I'm a big fan of this one. Not today. Another defense one-traded event. Okay, so let's see if we can kick out Desperate Defense or some of the other ones that always make it into the rotation. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. Okay, cool. We've seen that one. If you take no damage, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Oh, huge. A scheme, not the main scheme. So this is big. This is incredible. So, I love this card. And because protection always struggles, and if you watched my channel before, you've heard me say protection really struggles when you have side schemes out. Not today is not limited to the main or a side scheme, it's any scheme. So 2 threat from a scheme is big, and the +2 defense. This is going to be a card that you're going to see in a lot of flow like water decks, a lot of decks that are, the heavy defense. I am a big fan of Not Today. That's going to be a top tier defense event qualifier. That'd be cool. Yeah, nice, cool. Okay. Was that all of our... yeah, that was all of our protection cards. Cool, okay, well, I hope we get to see some more soon. I was really expecting some more protection cards. Okay, so we got Moria MacTaggart. I assume I am pronouncing that incorrectly. So play only if your identity has the mutant trait, and then after a mutant alter ego changes into hero form, exhaust Moria Taggart, that hero's controller draws 1 card. Incredible. Oh my gosh. That's an incredible card. Colossus loves this because he's always flipping. Cyclops is always flipping. He's going to like this. There's a couple of mutants that we've seen that just love that alter ego, and with all of the alter ego supports that we've seen in gray for the mutants, Moria is going to... Their gray kit is insane. Their gray kit is so very, very cool. I am very happy with this card. I cannot wait to get this along with some of the other cards that we saw in Gambit's pack and start to build some just incredible gray decks. Wow. And this is not limited to you. This is not oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Cool. Very cool. X-Gene. Play only if your identity has the mutant trait. Max 1 per player. Bonkers. Exhaust X-Gene to generate a wild resource for an identity-specific event. It's a 1-cost upgrade. Are you kidding me? You have to be... Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Big fan of what we're seeing here. I don't see why you would ever not run this in maybe not in Wolverine, because unless you draw in your opening hand, you're probably not going to be an alter ego. But other than that, well, I mean, if your identity has the mutant trait, this is not a prepared video, so we're just gonna do this. What is your I'm gonna go in and check and see what identity means, and do you have your identity? Are you considered a mutant when you're in hero form? Like, could you play this? Check the bot commands. Identity represents a player's identity card is double-sided and represents their hero on one side. Each player begins the game in alter ego form. If a card refers to a hero or alter ego by title, it refers only to the identity with that title, not to the other side of the card. Okay, so I mean that's still really, really good, especially with how often you want to be flipping down. Very excellent. Okay, so I think that's it, and we're gonna dive into the modular set. So cybernetic enhancements now. God, there's a lot of big minions in here. All right, brand new modular set comes with features the Reavers, a team of cybernetically enhanced criminals and old enemies of the X-Men. Donald Pierce is their leader. Oh, more teamwork cards. No. These are so brutal. So teamwork, whenever you have a Reaver on the table and a second Reaver gets placed on the table, all your Reavers will activate. I love the mechanic. They're just brutal. Force response after Donald Pierce engages you, reveal the topmost Reaver minion from the discard. Oh. So it's gonna, whenever Donald Pierce comes out, you're gonna trigger your teamwork. He's gonna activate. He's villainous too, dude. Oh my gosh, Donald Pierce is crazy. Let's go. Okay. So far, my seeing just this one, it kind of looks like we're gonna see a lot of forced response after engagement rather than the acolytes were after defeated. Yep. So Skullbuster with toughness. 225. After Skullbuster engages you, place one threat on the main scheme for each Reaver minion engaged with you. Dude, this is gonna be brutal. Bonebreaker 135 with toughness. After Bonebreaker engages you, take one indirect damage for each Reaver minion engaged with you. Wow, this is gonna be a cool mod set. I'm excited. This is going to be a really fun mod set. It's going to be crazy, though. Wade Cole, when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of the Cybernetic Enhancement. Oh no, what is that going to be? It's going to be +1, attach to a minion, or Surge. Attached minion cannot take damage. What? After attached minion attacks, discard. That's a really cool design. I'm a big fan of this design. I don't. It's not good. Well, it's very good for them. It's not good for us, but I really like that design. That's pretty cool. It looks like we're going to have 2 of those too. Either that or we haven't seen a side scheme. But really, really interesting pack. I'm a big fan of the green cards, the gray cards, and then not the acolytes, the Reavers that we've seen here. Her kit, it'll be something that I just kind of have to play. It makes sense that she is kind of leaning into having multiple players on the table, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. We'll see how she plays solo. Again, we'll do the hero spotlights as a solo player, but then we'll probably try and get her onto the table, maybe with like a 4 or 2-player team up right after she comes out. Alongside Gambit in February. So in 4 months we'll get Rogue and Gambit, and until then we are going off the Marvel Champions content we have. So excited for all of the stuff that has been announced. Really, I'm interested in Rogue. I'm intrigued. Let's say I'm intrigued. I like all the cards that we've seen. I think that will be really cool, but my ride is almost here, so that's about all the time that I have. But thank you so very much for hanging out. I appreciate you all. What did you all think about Rogue? Let me know in the comments. Is there anything I missed? Because when I do these first looks, typically there's some cool interactions that I typically just don't pick out and I miss. And so let me know if you have found anything or if there's anything. And then at this point, I will allow myself to go scour the spoiler channels and all the discords and everything and see what other people have come up with. But let me know in the comments what you think about Rogue, what you think about the article here and what has been announced. Looking forward to hearing about that. Thank you all for hanging out. Have a fantastic, today is Thursday, so almost weekend. Have a good week, have a good day, and see you around. Peace.